You know, we're celebrating Memorial Day today to remember the men and women in uniform who've given their lives for freedom. But I want this to also be a Memorial Day to remember those who believed in Jesus Christ and died to prove it. Now, you don't need to be in a closed country like Saudi Arabia or China to be able to prove your faith. You just have to be in a country like the United States where it's so easy to forget God. I shared this with you perhaps before, but I suppose it's worth sharing again. Back in the old days when I was still with 3rd and Vermont, I used to do a sideline, and I was assisting at a Christian bookstore. And there was this lady, a nurse, who came into the Christian bookstore and started buying worship cassette tapes. Do you know what a cassette is? I'm sure the young people don't know what that is. It's this little square thing. Well, she was buying boards of cassette tapes. She was practically cleaning us out. And as she paid for the cassettes, she put the cassettes on the side and she started removing the labels of the cassettes. And I was thinking, now that's kind of odd. How will you know which cassette is what? And so I asked her, what are you doing? Do you need some help? She says, yeah, I'm taking these labels off. I says, why? I'm taking them to Saudi Arabia. I'm a nurse in Saudi Arabia, a Christian nurse. And I use this to share with the people underground. And you can't have labels because once they see the label, it'll tip them to what this is. So I'm putting a different label there so that they won't know that it's New Christian Tapes. And I says, now, let me just ask you, why would you want to go all the way there where you are persecuted when here you have the freedom to be a nurse here, earn a lot of money, and be in a good church and just spread the gospel here? She says, you know what? And her answer continues to amaze me to this day. She says, because here in America, it's harder to be a Christian. I says, can you repeat that? Here in America, it's harder to be a Christian. Why? Because here you don't know who is the Christian. He says, in Saudi Arabia, you know the believers. Because if you're not a believer, when the police, the religious police, come to you, you can easily deny Christ. Then you know who's not a believer. But then those who are willing to be jailed, those who are willing to lose their jobs, those who are willing to suffer death, it's easy to find out who the believers are. And so we have a bigger challenge here. And I believe that's why, personally, that's why God called me here to the United States. Because it is the toughest mission field of all.